Theory, but there is a deeper problem here, sir. There's so many millions of people, and I want to say this to you with no offense. There are so many millions of Muslims who follow you, who hang on every word you say, and you are saying this to them. Najib, is there a danger in that?
That's the reason I cannot say something wrong. I'm not saying the same because I've got no proof.
Okay, you made your point. You made your point. Najib and then Madani Sahib.
I must intervene because I think
Madani Sahib is सफाई
साहब कहेंगे उसकी सफाई मदनी साहब को ही देनी पड़ेगी इनसे और इनसे नहीं ले सकते आप सफाई
नहीं उनसे भी लूंगी उनसे भी लूंगी
Barkha, I would normally say this, but as a Muslim, I think that this argument has gone to a point of ridiculousness. When you start defending the Taliban and the Mujahideen and so on and so forth,
did Taliban come from that
this
they've all
discussion is going to be
them,
ridiculous. I mean, we have to be reasonable and we have to understand that there are a large section of regular Muslims who are against any kind of extreme Islamization. Islamization by itself is welcome. But the kind of interpretation that the people are giving is absolutely not kosher.
Okay, कभी
जितने भी ये लोग हैं जिनके बारे में आप सवाल कर रही हैं और दो डिफरेंट तरह के जवाब मिले हैं आपको मेरा फर्म बिलीव पूरे एतमाद के साथ मुझे यकीन है कि ये जो लोग भी ये काम कर रहे हैं चाहे वो किसी भी नाम से हों ये ह्यूमैनिटी के तो दुश्मन है ही हैं इस्लाम के भी दुश्मन हैं इस्लाम के नुकसान
At the heart of this is the deeper question of who speaks. You know, I take Shah Rukh's point, we focus too much on the image. Then I take Soha's point that we focus too much on the fringe. What do we focus on? I mean, I think at least we would agree on that.
We focus too much on the religious identity of the lunatics also, or the guys we call terrorists. Why should we represent them or identify them as... I've met them, I mean, you've met them in Kashmir. I've seen them in Afghanistan. Half of them seem to have other reasons. Qasab has joined his organization to get free access to guns and money. Not because he felt for jihad or Islam. I mean, that was the point, in fact, in my film, New York.
That did come up in all my research as well, actually. 8 or 9 out of 10 of them are not even doing this for religion.
Not for jihad. Shah Rukh, so I want to take Alex's point. He's saying, who's the person? Who's my leader? Who is speaking for me as a Muslim? Some would say to you, Alec, why do you need someone to speak for you as a Muslim?
I don't feel the need. I have various things I'm passionate about. I've been educated, but yet I feel passionate about lack of literacy in this country. I feel, you know, sometimes that there's stereotyping of women in commercial cinema. I feel offended sometimes by a lot of things, not necessarily something that is touched by me personally or not, but certainly I would feel the need more to stand up for secular ideals, for national ideals, as opposed to divisive identity.
But then the fatwa that was passed said very clearly that anyone, whether a Muslim or a non-Muslim, who commits an act of violence against innocent people is committing an act against the Quran, which says if you do that, you are committing an act against the whole of humanity.
Isn't this paradoxical that on the one hand we are saying keep religion out of it? On the other hand, we actually do need our religious clergy, in a sense, as we did with this fatwa, to sort of restore the perspective about Islam.
Every job, I won't call it a job, but whether it's a religion, whether it's any other aspect of life, specialists have to be there. And I truly believe the clergy, the ulemas, the mullahs, they're all these specialists.
You don't think they're the fringes as
No, I don't think so. I don't think you cannot even, I don't think you can ignore them. Yeah. I just think it's very important that this whole culture for every religion, the guys who know it the best need to be there. We need to understand, maybe more than we need to understand, they need to explain it in a way which is understandable. Yes. And I truly believe, like if you were to ask me personally, like you asked, okay, why do we talk about a religious identity? Whether, I don't have a choice now. This is what I'm born as. And I love being born as a Muslim.
You do have a choice, sir.
No, I mean, I didn't have
I had a choice and I gave it up at the age of 18 when I could vote.
No, absolutely. I make the choice. I had it. I've made it. And I want to be Muslim and I'm very proud to be one. Now I am letting my children know about the religion. I think I know the best in the most understandable, nice manner. And inshallah, they will also be Muslims. But I'm not going to teach them perhaps the clergy very strict way of Islam. I will teach them the way I think.
Not a puritanical interpretation.
Absolutely. So I want to teach it to them like this.
Okay, I need to take a quick break, but this young girl's been trying to make a point for a long time.
Yeah, actually this is a real life incident that happened in class. Now this girl, she just stands up and she says that, why do you differentiate? What if a mother has a good child and a bad boy? Now who would you really, would the mother really say, do away with the bad son? Or would she train him to become a good guy? And, you know, indirectly, in an end, she was identifying the bad guy for a Muslim, to be a Muslim, and the good boy to be a Hindu, which was very surprising, and she didn't really realize it, she being a Muslim herself.
All right, so there's a... you want to say something?
I want to know that the definition of Islam and Muslim keeps on changing from person to person, or is it the same one definition of Islam and Muslim? Is there any source or authentic source to know what is the right definition of Islam and Muslim?
But is there a... So you want to take that before I take a break? We all interpret faith in a very private way.
I believe so. And I haven't had a secular upbringing, and I've read the Bible, and I've read parts of the Gita and parts of the Quran, and I think that ultimately it is between, as I said earlier, God and yourself and your personal private relationship with Him, and only He will judge whether you are a good anything.
All right, we'll take a quick break. In our last segment, what does our panel believe is at the heart of the minority debate? What disturbed Karan so much, aside from that conversation in New York, that this is a theme that seems to resurface in a lot of your work? What is simmering under the surface? We'll take a look at that in final comments after the break. Welcome back to We the People. In this last segment, what is at the heart of the debate around the minority identity in India? It seems to be an abiding theme more recently in the Indian film industry. Why is that? What do they believe is the central crisis? Before we get final comments from our panelists, let's hear some voices from the audience.
There is a question about why we focus on the lunatic fringe as such, and that most of them do not, in fact, and I agree, most of them do not turn to terrorism for anything to do with religion. But sadly, the ones who are turning to terrorism are using religion as their cloak. Your religion is being used falsely. Somewhere can we say that you have a duty to defend it?
Definitely the moderate voice, or so-called moderate voice, should speak up. Now the problem is that the moderates are so frittered away and they're so sort of blasé about things. They don't have a platform. And frankly, we don't get that much space on the media as the lunatics get.
और जिनको आप extremist समझते हैं वो आकर के खड़े होकर लड़ रहे हैं, है ना?
How much access do Muslims have in a routine corporate world and all that? Like when a CV comes in front of you, does a corporate take a pause, like the person sitting in that hot seat, to give a job and all that? So,
Shah Rukh, quick comment from you, because we've had some people from the film industry who have spoken about it is difficult to get a house for a Muslim in Mumbai. You said you've never really experienced any real prejudice. But do you know people who have?
I wouldn't know, and I can just, because I think I should just joke about this. I went, that's why I didn't go looking for a flat. I thought I'll just buy a whole building. But I'd be very honest about this whole thing. I think कहीं पे कभी कभार ऐसा issue हर चीज में, चाहे आप हिंदू हैं, चाहे मुसलमान हैं, vegetarian हैं, non-veg हैं, ये problems होती हैं. I think we should just try to contain it a little and not make it an issue. हर religion के अंदर fundamentalists can mislead youth by giving this garb of this opium. They say religion is the opiate of the masses. You can convince anyone कि ऐसा होगा, आप चलिए. Good oratorship. Young people who don't have a job, easily misled by Islamic fundamentalist or Hindu fundamentalist, or if there is something as a Christian fundamentalist.
All right.
I'm a big fan of yours, but Qurban, I think it used sensationalism and sort of making the terrorist a hero. It made me feel like I was supposed to like Saif Ali Khan at the end of it. I mean, that's not right.
We never wanted you to like or dislike. We were going through the beats of a character. And actually, there was a lot of negativity that we got. And we were saying that we were succumbing to stereotyping as well, which was never the case, never the intention.
I completely disagree with the film Qurban. And I've told him so.
No, but what disturbed you about Qurban?
I just felt there was a group of people in hijab, with a dadi, with a skull cap. Everybody was bad. I did not see one good person. ऐसे कहाँ पर होता है? This is the image sometimes we have of the fringe Muslim groups, and I don't think we should in any which way. I mean, ये तो picture है. I also don't take
possibly it was not our intention and it went.
Maybe, I mean, I'm all for making whatever kind of film you want to and putting it out there.
Absolutely.
I'm against censorship. But maybe as a society we're not ready for it, and we require some kind of sensitive filmmaking. Or
really has to be the last question.
Why are people just looking at the people who are killing other people for jihad? I'm going through jihad. There are 50 people asking me that you're a Muslim, you pray. I said, yes, I pray. So they're like, what are your views about the Taliban? I'm striving, I'm struggling myself, explaining to them. And why don't the people portray the good side of jihad? What I'm doing, what he's doing, what everyone is doing.
I have to take last comments, and let me start with you, Dr. Naik.
The Muslims should know how to reply to the misconception about Islam.